Hi, I'm Tesla, a 25-year-old in Texas, and I share all of my financial details on the internet. Is it a good choice? I don't know, but let's get to it. So this is something different. I decided to do my mid-month check-in separately than my budget video, which has already been posted. I have this new spreadsheet that I'm using, so I'm just going to see how I like doing this and if I'm going to keep up with it and if I find this helpful. So this is from my first paycheck that I got from August 1st, and this is how I spent it up until the 15th because the 16th is when I got paid again. So first, just a really high-level overview of my first paycheck. I spent almost 73% of it, which makes sense because most of my expenses come from my first check. I set everything up so most of my bills and stuff just automatically get paid on the first. I invested almost 25%, $730. I only saved $13.45, and then oh my gosh, that's not even 0.5%. That's embarrassing. And then I used YNAB to calculate how much I should put towards my debt. So I don't calculate that number. I use this sheet in conjunction with YNAB. I use YNAB to do all of my actual budgeting and expense tracking. And then I just put the numbers in here, and then it gives me this nice spreadsheet. So let's go over income first. So for the first 2 weeks of August, I thought I would make $3,015.86, but instead I made $3,176.61. So that is $160.75 more than I thought. Salary is same old basically. For interest, I made $47.56. Rent, I was pretty worried about it. I didn't get paid until like the 13th or 14th or something, because my roommate told me that she just was not going to have the money to pay me, and that's a fact. And then when I tried to ask her more questions about paying for August, she just walked away from me. So at that point, what else was I supposed to think? So I filed an eviction suit with the court to get her out for not paying rent. And then as soon as I told her, well, okay, then I filed an eviction suit against you for refusing to pay, then all of a sudden she had the money, and she had the money for the late fees, $860, which is $60 more than I would normally get. I did a mock interview for one of my clients as a little side hustle. I thought I would make 22, but I made 28.75. I got no gifts this month, which tracks. It's what I figured would happen. For cashback, I made a little more. It was a total of $56.45. I got an account promotion from M1 Finance of $30. They didn't give me the cash. They just automatically took that bonus and invested it for me, which is fine. I just added it as extra income so I could cover the extra investment and the numbers would even out. Lastly, but also very exciting, I got my first referral link used for Fundrise. It's how I invest in real estate, and someone tried it out. So that's cool. Thank you, stranger. They gave me $50 in shares, which was automatically invested as well. And I hope you like it as much as I do. That takes me down to investing. I always this year have expected to invest at least $650 per check, but this time it was $730 because of that referral link and because of my account bonus. So I am $80 over budget, but in a good way, because it just means I've invested more, and that was money that was like given to me and not really my own. Sinking funds, that sucks. I am under budget in sinking funds by $215.45. I thought I could save $228.90, but I only saved $13.45. I will get into what I had to pull from my savings funds exactly when I get into my spending lower in the sheet, because I pulled it all from my month ahead, which is why I am negative 140.45 here, because that's how much I took out of that fund to cover things. And I'm pretty upset because I have never had to pull from my savings to cover basic expenses. Like, for example, I have an auto fund, and if I need new tires, then yeah, I'll pull from that auto fund because that makes sense. That's what the fund is for. But just to cover basic things from check to check, that never happens to me. Like, I can normally cover all my spending within that check and everything zeroes out. Like, I've never been really negative like that before. But I had to put things on my credit card because I didn't have the cash on hand, which is like very strange for me. So that was a bummer. So I'm negative in month ahead, but I put 22.22 into my auto care, $45 towards my dog's vet fund, and then covering my yoga membership, $86.68. My yoga membership, I'm assuming, will be $900, and so I just save for it a little bit every month. If you've seen my budgeting video. I've already covered the difference, but it just hurt to swallow my pride and let this happen to me. And then before I go into spending, I'll just cover my credit card really quick. YNAB calculates how much I'm supposed to put towards my card, and it said 70.25, so that's what I paid extra. But let's go into why I was negative for my savings in the first 2 weeks of August. In my YNAB budget, I have it broken down by lifestyle expenses and basic expenses. I don't have it like that here. I have it all grouped together just under expenses. So for groceries, I budgeted $100, but I just got an every plate box for $45.33, so I am under budget by $54.67. What's terrible about this is my roommate broke my fridge and freezer and did not tell me and let all the food just rot, and it smells awful. And so while I'm trying to find someone who can fix my fridge, it's obviously I didn't get to use my box, or, I haven't bought any other groceries. So if I had known that, I wouldn't have bought the box, and I would actually be zero in groceries, which is crazy. Because the first week of August, my boss was in town, so that meant I got free lunches and free dinners. And then that weekend, my mom fed me. And then the week after that is when my box came, but I couldn't use it. So, I mean, it's good that I'm under budget still, but it still bothers me that I basically had to spend that money for nothing. For transportation, I had budgeted $342.14, but I only spent $209.90, which means I am under budget by $132.24. Sounds like a good thing, but it's not, and I'll tell you why. I was supposed to leave town to help my dad, who is facing an eviction, and I was supposed to help him with his garage sale and moving things. But because my roommate just straight up told me she was not going to pay rent for August, I obviously had to just face that head on and do something about that. She changed her number, so she wasn't getting my text about the rent. And then when I got her new number, she didn't respond to my text about the rent. And then whenever I would knock on her door, whenever she was home, she would not answer me. So at that point, after a lot of stress and calling people and trying to figure out what to do, I started just cleaning the house after her. I started tallying damages against her deposit, and I spent all weekend talking to my lawyer. So I was just stuck in town. So that's why I didn't use up all my gas budget like I thought. And then when I went to the courthouse, they charge you $11 for parking, which sucks. So that was a part of my transportation charges. And even though I wasn't around to help with their garage sale, they did raise almost $1,000, which is good, but it's not enough. And I still think, I just resent that I had to stay in town and deal with my roommate instead of helping my family. And then also that feeds into this miscellaneous charge. I was over budget in miscellaneous by $115.42 because I spent $143.40 here. And the story behind that is a friend and I were going to go to my dad's house and help him with stuff, right? But my dad's a smoker, and every time I get back from my dad's, I get sick because I've been, dealing with all the cigarette smoke and whatever. And my friend has asthma, and their house is full of people. Like, my dad already has to sleep on the couch as is. So my friend and I were going to split a hotel room for 2 nights, which is expensive right now. And so my half of the hotel was $143.40. And I tried to cancel. They would not refund us no matter what. So when we both booked our rooms, we just both lost out on the money, which is infuriating. And my friend was really cool about it, and they just came to my house instead and helped me clean and was there to be a witness in case my roommate got aggressive again. So that's, it's a different category, but they all kind of tie into the same thing of me being stuck at home, and even though I'm under in this category, I'm over in this category, and it's just so, it's been a very long first 2 weeks for me. And then that takes us to personal care. I had budgeted $12 just because, and I had spent $44.30. So that's, $32 over. Some of it was just normal stuff that I buy, like feminine products or like eye drops and, normal stuff. But I have been so stressed about this that my sleeping pills have not been working. So I had to buy some over-the-counter calming gummies, like anti-anxiety gummies. I have been so stressed that I've had nonstop headaches. So I've been buying Tylenol. And then, I'm not sleeping. So during the day, I'm buying energy drinks. Otherwise, I'm like a zombie. And the energy drinks, they would fall under groceries. Or no, actually, they fall under dining out. Still, like, my body is just in shambles, and I have been spending more on my health. I actually have a pretty high threshold, but, with everything going on, it's just like my brain and my body are not cooperating with me. And then worst of all, it's costing me more money. Next up is home care, where I have more issues. I thought I would spend $20, because I didn't think I would need anything, but I spent $108.70. My roommate let the downstairs become Amityville Horror. I haven't really been there very often, but I found out that there were so many fruit flies just feasting on all the mess she has been leaving in my kitchen and everywhere. So I bought stuff to kill fruit flies. I had to buy a ton of cleaning supplies because a while ago, I guess she used up my cleaning supplies and then she never replaced it, which is why I guess it's such a mess. Like she never bought more cleaning supplies, so she just never cleaned. And mind you, if you've been watching my videos, you know I've been hiring cleaners like almost every month this year. So it's kind of crazy that the stuff that gets accumulated is like less than a month's worth of mess. So whatever, I bought toilet cleaner for the bathrooms. The hallway was smelling so awful that I thought she clogged the toilets again. I had a plumber come out. It turns out she just wasn't flushing after herself anymore. I bought some stuff to try to clean my granite countertops because they're just totally ruined. I'm trying home remedies, but nothing is working so far. It's just a lot going on in home care, and especially the last 2 weeks of August. I am sure those charges are going to ramp up as well. Pet care, I budgeted zero and I spent zero because he's been with my mom. I miss him a lot. That's why I'm at my mom's house a lot. But yeah, he's been free for now. I can't wait to have him back though. Bills were higher because the lights are always left on and I don't always wake up at 3 a.m. to go downstairs and turn them off. So I ended up having to assign $1,623 to cover everything. But as far as what was actually spent, that was only $1,290.51 because my electricity bill is the only bill that doesn't charge me at the beginning of the month, even though I assign it at the month. And yeah, everybody knows that electricity is just skyrocketing right now. That takes us to lifestyle expenses. I had budgeted at $79.24, but I had spent $115.89. I knew I was over in that category and in my budget, but I went out anyway. I would have been under budget, but I took my friend who helped me clean to a comedy show and I treated them to a dinner at the show because it was just so gross downstairs cleaning and I felt awful about the hotel thing. And so, yeah, they deserved a night out. And that meal alone was $50.39. So like almost half of all of my expenses, which I don't think is crazy for two people out on the town. And plus, like after the day we had, we just really needed drinks. So and especially okay, so on Friday we went to the show on Saturday night. And on Friday night when we went to dinner, I got food poisoning right afterwards. So they spent the whole night with me seeing me like throw up and stuff. And so yeah, no, I had to make up for that whole weekend. Appearance, I didn't spend anything on it, just like I thought. For fun money, I had budgeted zero because I didn't think I'd be able to do anything, but the comedy show cost $52.32, so I am over in that area. It was just high stress days and we needed to release it, and laughter was the best option because I had already done a lot of crying. It's a good memory. I don't regret spending money on that. I normally try to give $25 away per paycheck, but I only gave away $2, which is like super disappointing. Hopefully I can do that next check. So lending, I usually always budget zero, but I had spent $130.64 on loaning people money. I don't cover it. I just leave it as credit card debt because I don't pay interest on that debt. So whenever I get paid back, it's just not a big deal. But I still included it here just to make the numbers even out because even though I don't cover it, like it's still spending. I had cut down my subscriptions by a lot and now I only pay $8.39 and that is just Pandora and phone storage. So like I had already touched upon was Miscellaneous, and I also forgot to mention that on top of the hotel, I had to print some things at Office Depot because I don't have a printer, but the court needed me to print some things. And then I also bought some graphics off of Canva. That was $3, and I didn't mean to buy it. I think I pressed confirm on accident. But yeah, those were all my miscellaneous charges. But anyway, yeah, that is how I spent my money for the first 2 weeks of August, and this is kind of how my budget panned out. I'm pretty disappointed, of course, but not every month and not every paycheck is going to go the way that you want it to. So I'm just hoping like by September things get better. I don't know if it's helpful for me yet because it's a new thing that I'm trying. I'll see if I keep up with this and if I find it helpful like by the end of the month. I will at the end of the month also have a dashboard for August, even though like it'll combine the information from both checks and pull it into 1 month so I can have like a clearer picture like overview wise. But otherwise, I hope you'll have a good rest of your August and I will see you in my August wrap up.